So, welcome here today at EMERCE Scale-up Cafe. Stefan Tan, you're the co-founder and CFO, right, of Dashmote. So, Dashmote, you're really good at elevator pitches, so can you do a small elevator pitch?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Remco. Yeah, let me tell you about Dashmote. So we are an AI image analytic platform. So what we do is we see that a lot of images get uploaded nowadays on like all different platforms. And what we do is we take all these images and analyze them and give insights to brands using these images. So we identify trends, different consumer insights, and so forth, where it's being used by brands for mostly increasing their marketing and sales.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of companies do you serve then?
So we work mostly for consumer goods companies. So we work for companies like Heineken, Coca-Cola, Philips, etc. Mostly focused on the industries where people like to make pictures of. So people like to make pictures of food. I like to make
food porn.
Food porn. So that's a big industry. People like to make pictures of clothing, so clothing brands and cosmetic and all these industries where it's highly visual.
Yeah, exactly. So you had a little bit of news to share with us because you're really moving into an interesting space right now.
Yeah. A few months ago, we decided that one of our key markets, actually for most of the consumer brands that really want to grow, China is one of the key markets to grow in general, because there's a lot of consumer growth in China in general. And we saw it as well, having more and more requests from clients to see what data can you get from China. So a few months ago, we decided to open our office in Shanghai, in China. And the last news is that we actually hired officially now our head of China.
Okay.
That is leading our project. I cannot tell the name, unfortunately, yet.
Okay.
So we are now working to make it all figured out, but he's starting soon, and then we already have our team on the ground in Shanghai, in the Shanghai area, so we can actually serve all the clients that want to know more about the Chinese market.
Yeah, and so Shanghai is the major business hub there, right?
Yeah, so Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Suzhou, that's like the big hub where all the brands are. Yeah.
So the interesting thing from your company, your startup, is that you started together with your brother. How does that work out?
Yeah, so it's always hard to. People ask me a question like, how it's to work with your brother, and we were family. I heard bad stories and good stories. Luckily for me, it's a relatively good story. I think we as kids, when we grow up, actually we were always like good friends. We never had fights for longer than a day. And for us, it's really good. We can also both split business and private, but also merge it. And we have never fights more than a day, so it's really good to work together with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you guys already, I think, for like 4 years or so. Yeah. You're both very different as well in character.
Yeah.
Can you exemplify more how that works in a company?
Yeah, so I think Dennis is really, I'm a little bit overgeneralizing, but he's a little bit more the visionary. So really setting out the strategy, thinking about how we can grow as a company, where I'm more focused on the short-term things. So I'm responsible for, let's say, the finance and the business development, where he's more worried about like the investors and all the stakeholders. So that's a good combination of it.
He's building a relationship and you're making sure that the money comes in.
Exactly.
Even overgeneralizing. Yeah, but 4 years ago you started in a totally different atmosphere with a totally different product.
Yeah.
So how did that product evolve? What was the first product and how did it evolve?
Yeah, so we started officially in the beginning as a stock image aggregator. And the reason why we did it is because if you want to start a company in data and now what you call AI, you need a lot of training data, and it's hard to get training data if you don't have it. So what we thought is be a little bit smarter than just competing directly with Google and other Facebook to get the same training data. So what we did is we made partnership with a lot of different stock image companies like the Bosses Photos and other companies like that. And we had the largest stock image database, which we used to actually as a training data set. And that we did also at the same time launching a consumer-facing product, which really brought us to the speed up to know how we can train our algorithms. And now, I wouldn't call it the pivot, but then we looked for a more commercialization of our technology, which led us to our current propositions to like go use our algorithms more directly for marketing sales and rather only finding the right picture. But we still sell pictures if you're interested to sell pictures.
Buy pictures. I think I still have a beta account. Interestingly, your last round of funding was, I think, also 4 years ago, right?
Exactly. So we started with the pre-seed funding of €500,000. Then we sort of We sort of survived that till we were commercials, and now we're making profit, revenue as a company, so it's good. So we are growing.
So cash flow positive?
Cash flow positive.
Okay.
And now we're now on a stage where we're deciding to grow even faster, and I think we're in the right stage. I always say you always should look for funding if you don't really need it, because then you're in the best position.
So you don't need it right now, so you're looking for funding.
Exactly.
Okay. So what is the ballpark number? What is the number you're looking for to raise?
Yeah, so we're looking to raise now. So we are now. I cannot disclose too much information, but we're about to finalize a round.
Okay. Yeah. Sufficiently more than $500,000.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously. So what kind of business model are we looking at? Is this more like a SaaS model, or is this more, we were talking to Felix this morning, they also had a consultancy business. How does that work for you?
Yeah.
How do you make money?
I think I would define our business model as in the category of enterprise SaaS. So I think SaaS is often overlooked, and that I like the pure SaaS is mostly focused on, in my opinion, to like, if you sell something to an SME company, if you work with enterprises like the companies that we work for, it's a combination of it. So I would call it enterprise SaaS. So there's a lot of standardization within our platform and a lot of customization that our clients can do on our own within our platform.
Build it themselves, or you build it for them?
Both, mostly that they can do it. Plus we are building our own infrastructure that our clients can work together with a consultancy company or another company to use our platform to gather more intelligence and
like a system integrator, like an Oracle or something like that?
Exactly.
Okay. So how will the platform evolve? Because it's now mainly images, but it can also be text, right? I mean, AI is also natural language processing. How do you see the future of the company and the product?
Yeah. So I think our unique strength of our company is to really deeply understand our customers, so understand what their challenges and how they can use different data forms. We have our own strength in computer vision and the images, but I mean, there's so much more data available in the market. So what we try to do is we try to combine our strength but also what's available in the market. So we're also open to partner with different companies that are maybe better in like a specific niche into the market. So one challenge we have now is that we have a lot of requests from various different markets. So for example, I had a call yesterday with a Japanese company or a subsidiary of one of our clients in Japan, which require us to have better natural language processing in the Japanese language. I mean, that's something we can develop ourselves, but it's also to just find partners with too, and that's really interesting. As long as we combine it and we have the relationship or the platform is the central part towards the customers, it's a good thing to do.
So where will you take the company next then? Because you're already heading into China, which is a very interesting market, of course. Where will you go next? Is it the rest of Europe, or is it America, or are you already live in those countries? Yeah. In those regions?
So I think we have a clear focus for the coming 2 years. So we want to stay with our current client set that we have. So it's not that many clients. I think we want to stay in the range of like 20 to 50 clients in total and serve them on a global basis, where we have a sort of standardized approach.
So higher retention rate, more value out of every customer.
If we can, I think besides China, most of the countries have the same infrastructure of data where we get it from. So you can think that Facebook or Instagram or Google Maps or websites in general are being used in any country.
Food order sites, yeah, exactly.
So I think we limit ourselves only now at the moment where we can serve them from a geographic perspective. So we have an office in New York and an office in Shanghai and in Europe. So all the hubs that are reachable within these limits, we want to serve them as a client. Yeah.
So in the end, you're actually, normally a startup would say, we want to have 1,000 clients and we want to have more money and more funding. So it seems you're building a more of a kind of a sustainable startup company. Is that correct? Or what's the end game?
No, that's the short-term vision I have. I think in the end we want to make our technology and our data available to a wider market. So I think that is, let's say, after our initial scoping what we have now and really nail down what we have for a larger audience and larger, let's say, in our current base, we want to roll it out to more companies around the world and make it more accessible for anyone to use this kind of technology. But at the current rate and the current let's say the price point we serve, it's hard to serve everyone in the market. So that's something we have to work on. I think that also has to evolve in general, that AI just have to become more efficient to serve different kind of clients. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the end, going to the US is always, sort of the the first step into world domination, right?
Yeah, so I think that is for us. Like, I think especially now with brands, they see US, Europe, and I think it's a global play nowadays. I think just the fact is that most of the brands, global brands, have just their headquarters in the US, and that makes sense to focus on the US because there's most of the headquarters of consumer brands.
But for you, you have to be where the headquarters of your customers are.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where also most of the decisions are being made. So if you can influence that, you can either play going from top to down or from top to top, but I think you have the good combination, and I think that's where most of our clients are, indeed. Yeah.
So if we would talk to each other again in 4 years' time at the EMERCE Super Scale-up Cafe, what would you tell me then?
As an advice, or I mean, as a news?
How would Dashmote look by then?
Okay. I think what we would like to have achieved there is to be really that true global player and really have that footprint that most of our clients knows us about our expertise. So we should be the #1 company in the world that is known for using computer vision and data intelligence, and that I don't have to explain our story anymore, but that people would know what we're doing.
Yeah, and potential on exit, IPO?
Yeah, I think the cool thing from the company we have now is that if you look at AI companies, that we have the luck that we have a lot of potential for standalone. So we would like to grow as much as possible as a standalone company. I say never no to that, but I mean that's at least our vision for now, to be as standalone as possible for long as possible.
Yeah, together with the team you have currently now, and of course your brother.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay, Stefan Tan, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Cheers.